Haya, Happy New Year 2026. Kila mtu. Uh, I hope I see that the year was fine kutoka kwenye poll ndogo ambayo tumekuwa nayo. And I hope this is going to be a really nice question. It was supposed to be 130 minutes, but as of recent understand and as of recent knowledge, Google also clicked this invite meeting 1 hour. After that, you have to pay $45. I just knew that yesterday. So we're going to have about 45 minutes and I have to do my presentation in a quick manner. But welcome to 2026. Um, Founders Tanzania has exemplified growth. It's a slow and steady one over the years. And for those who are new in Founders Tanzania, it started around May 2021. So this year we are crossing into the fifth year since the start, and the last AGM that we had, that was around 2023. We were crossing into 2024. And 2024 saw growth of programs in Founders Tanzania. We had programs like the Founder Safari, the Founder Circle, the Founders Pulse, and many more programs. Now going into 2025, we also have some amazing programs that we really would want to share with you today. And let's dive let's dive in. My name is Kuchiluka, representing Founders Tanzania, and this year we're having a team behind me. So there's mostly a work that was coordinated with a lot of people. Some of them are on this call, and going forward, I think we'll get to learn everyone and what is their role in Founders Tanzania. But for today's presentation, I'm going to represent the Founders Tanzania organization. So as of 2024, CSA reported that we have about uh, over 1,000 startups in our ecosystem. And consistently over the year, with the exception of 2020 to the 2020-2021, we have seen a growth of about 24% year. Yeah. 2020 to 2021 was more of over 100% growth in the ecosystem. So, the history of Founders Tanzania, for the people who don't know, Founders Tanzania started as this was the first meetup, and I remember it vividly because it was Innovate Ventures. They call it focus group discussion. So they were holding a focus group discussion, and they invited founders and different players in the ecosystem to talk about the ecosystem, the findings, etc. Now, I asked everybody, where did you hear about this? And everybody had a different source. So at the time, I understood there was a bit of a gap where everybody has a different source for the same news, and yet we were very few in that meeting. So we created a WhatsApp group, and at the time it was called the Startup CZ, and the whole aim around it was to just share opportunities with each other. So you find something somewhere, and you share it with the other founders. And over time, um, personally as a founder, and just to be clear, as we start this, we are at Founders Tanzania, but we are also founders building companies. My own company is called Ekima, and also some of the managers here in Founders Tanzania, we're also building startups. And we got to realize one of the big things facing Tanzanian founders is the invisibility cost. We have amazing startups in the ecosystem, but they are not visible on the global stage. You go to, let's say, Mastercard Foundation, you see very few Tanzanian startups. You go to uh, intercontinental events, you go to global events, it's very few Tanzanian startups, but they're doing really well. Some people have had their best year ever, but you can hardly find them, at least online. So we saw that, and there are multiple. It's a layer on top of another layer on top of another layer of problems, but the top three would be the fragmented ecosystem, where we don't have the necessary structures to support the startups. And that can be traced back to after independence, socialism versus capitalism. That's why Kenyans are fast, because they had that structural growth, that can accommodate startups as they come into the scene. But we hardly started businesses around 1990s, so you don't have people with enough money to be angel investors, etc., etc. So I'm not going to dive deeper into that. But you can even hardly find data on Tanzanian startups when you're online, researching, etc. But the good news is people like Isai, the database books are really trying to fill up the online database on this. And also the high perceived risk on Tanzanian startups, the laws around it, and everything else. So all that makes Tanzania invisible on this African map, or even not even a global map. So founders miss out on over 70% of regional opportunities, and that's what we came to discover over time. So Founders Tanzania as a WhatsApp group since then was how can we as founders help ourselves? And because this information gap leads to stagnation. Founders hardly grow, the ecosystem hardly grows, and founders miss out on, as I said before, over 70% of these regional opportunities. So founders, as a community, we were trying to increase the opportunities pool. That's the access to opportunities. We were trying to vouch for global visibility in one way or another, hence the products like Founder Safari, Founder Pulse, and also community collaboration. Because we are late into the scene, wanasema kwa Kiswahili umoja ni nguvu. So we had to do something as a group, as a community, and I think people who are in Founders Tanzania can really talk about the brotherhood and sisterhood that we have, be it into sharing opportunity, be it into connections when you're trying to access somebody from some place, from this ministry. It's easy for you to navigate that. And the data from our community is like this. A large percent of us of them are founders. We have about 447-ish founders in the main group and other group. We also have aspiring founders showing about 25.5% of that. We also have talent. So this includes developers, includes business managers, includes marketers, etc. We have a talent database, it's around 70%. We have a system enablers, shout out to United Ventures, they're in the group here. Sahara Ventures are in the group. Shout out to Africa Capital. There is Naomi engaging constantly. Shout out to Dr. Gerard Tafuku. From Costec, he connects with the individuals. We have people from municipals who offer this group-based support in terms of funding, in terms of capital and loans, and also we have other people. We have people from Kariako selling products to founders, some people selling tech products, etc. So that's about the composition of the community that we have, at least for now. And Founders Tanzania now it provides a democratized platform where every member, either you're a student with an idea, to a seasoned founder. You can just access information, and we're trying to put these people out there through visibility from products like the founders database, the talent database that we have. So anybody can just search you on Google and get links to your profile that is found in Founders Tanzania. So this is what we have been trying to do on top of other many things. And our traction since 2021, we've had over 1,000 community members, and this has been a very slow but steady growth. We have a very low churn rate. I think it's under 10%, under 5% if you consider month and month. And till now, data shows we have shared over 3,000 opportunities across with each other. So this is one founder sharing an opportunity with another founder. And we've had over 2,000 attendees on our founders training series. So for those who don't know, so we had founders training where an experienced founder trains other founders or speaks to other founders on a specific subject. So we've had Gibson Karago who speaks on global stages, teach us about pitching. We've had Joseph from Dam Kononi teaching us on fundraising and investor readiness. So you've seen these founders exemplify and grow in these specific areas, then they pass down that knowledge to founders training. We've had 2,000 attendees. We've had five founder meetups where it was a physical meetup, and we've had over 150 attendees. Two founders spouse in 2024, which was super active. We shared over 23 founder stories. The podcast, we used to release one podcast a month, and we also did 7 episodes, which has had thousands of viewers on YouTube. Other traction includes the founders featured in news outlets, over 40 founders, and 13 online trainings leading to 2,000 attendees, etc., etc. So I think a lot of this traction was found in year 2024, spilling over to 2025, where we've had accelerated growth. We expanded our limits as an organization, testing the waters in here and there, and yes, that was good success for me. We stopped for a while, I think, the last quarter of 2024, coming in 2025, focusing more on the community building. And there were a couple of reasons behind that. And now, coming into 2026, we are here to revise almost all of the products that we used to offer to the founders after listening to them through the survey, the survey we had in December 2025. So going forward, um, our vision of Founders Tanzania has always been to ensure that no founder builds in isolation. The ecosystem is tough. Everybody else is tough on these founders now. Building alone adds stress on the stress that is available. So we are trying to create this community around the founder. So you don't feel alone. It's easy to talk to somebody. It's easy to ask a question. Probably something that you are going through now. Somebody has been through it a year ago or 6 months ago. So we can share that information. And this sport has proven so far that we are ready to compete on the global stage. We've seen a growth, individual growth, as I'm going to share in the coming slides. Individual growth, people have reported individual growth and pivot. And let's dive deep on what now these founders said through the survey that we held. So one of the questions was, what stage are you? And 44% of the founders who took part in the survey say they're in the pre-seed stage, and 30% say they're in the seed stage, and the rest is founders who are in the later stage of growth. And the composition, there has been a huge growth of the edtech startups in the past 2 years, and I think that has been heavily contributed to founders. The Master Foundation, that's 18%, followed by agritech 16%, 12% to fintech, and other sectors was about 54%. So this was the makeup of the founders who took survey, part of the survey. Now we were asking on how do they also consume the Founders Tanzania products, services, community, etc., etc. So 78% of the founders who took part in the survey said they engage with Founders Tanzania's community groups uh, at at least weekly. 50% of them say they do that daily. They visit the groups, and they rated the community 4.62, which is a good number on my end. And now here is where we had to think deep and make decisions. So one of the problems that we had back in 2021 was people could hardly find opportunities. But now come into 2025, 92% of the founders said they got new opportunities from the community, which is a good fit. 76% say they applied to those opportunities, which is also a good fit. It's around B plus, going to an A. But this is a scary number. Now, only 32% of those people who applied got the opportunity. Now this is the number that we have to think about, and we had to think about, and we had to to figure what are we going to do next. Because if you have 10 people and only 3 people get the opportunities they applied in that year, I mean that's a scary number. So that's where most of the plans for 2026 are going to are based on. How can we take this 32% to at least 50% in the year 2026, and going forward we can increase that success rate. So that was the reality that we found in the survey. The beauty is that these founders add value in the marketplace. So in total, it was reported over 330 jobs were created from the founders who took part in the survey, which full-time and part-time roles, which is growth for the founders themselves, for their companies, and also for the ecosystem as a whole. So it seems this we're having growth in the ecosystem, and on top of that, we had network effect. So through the engagement in the group and inboxes, etc., etc., founders to founders collaborated. 34% of founders said they collaborated with another founder. So that's also a really good thing on our end because we are facilitating that community way of thinking, living, and collaboration is key. Is key to growth. I know it myself because our third company now, Ekima, is a collaboration between Smart Data and Smartco, both being members of the Founders Tanzania for a while. So the network effect has been seen across the community, and the sad number is still 72% of these founders are found in the restaurant. A number that we are really trying to reach with this being digital first. So as you have seen, Founders Tanzania has had digital meetings, digital trainings, digital news discussion, etc., etc., because we are trying to democratize this access to information, access to opportunities, access to trainings. And we normally post them on YouTube after the call, after the training, after the meeting. So we can now reach founders from different places. That now every product is around that, increase the access for community and visibility on the founders who are not even found in the restaurant. But we can't deny the fact that a lot of activity happen in the restaurant. So going forward from here, we saw there are 4 things that we can focus in 2026. And number one includes the readiness support. Number two includes formal mentorship. Number three includes institutional bridges. And number four is the decentralized engagement. Masaba, I would like to welcome you to add anything on top of the data because Masaba is the one who collected all the survey and analyzed the whole survey and reported it back. So I'd like you to add anything on top of these findings that I've shared while I'm switching presentation to the 2026 strategic plan. Welcome, Masaba.
Thank you, Kusi. Just to add on what you said, the survey we did, or the impact assessment we did for the year 2025, showed gaps in terms of success rate, gaps in terms of Tanzania Founders Tanzania to reach a wider audience. As you have seen, 72% of the founders are based in Dar es Salaam and only 28 are based in other regions. But also one of the gaps we analyzed is low rate of women engagement as founders in Founders Tanzania, something that we really wish to address in this year 2026. So I do not have much to add for now, but I think once we progress on to the key activities and plans for 2026, then I shall have some insights to share. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Masaba, for that. So we're all founders. We understand how presentations go.
Kusi, you're muted. We can't
Oh,
hear you.
sorry. So I was just saying we're all most of us are founders in here, and we understand how it is
this presentation go. So, going forward with next presentation, bear with me in terms of design, etc., etc. So, complementing on what Maktaba said, um, we had these three things that we really want to focus on. And most of the problems that we have observed are based on the founders themselves. Yes, we need capital, that's external. Yes, we need etc. etc. But there are things that we can solve around the founders themselves that can increase their chances to get the capital. Because what happens is that you meet an investor, but normally you're not investor ready, and that include has also a layer of it's an onion itself. So bear with me in the next slide. But um, one of the key things that we're trying to offer in 2026 is more value to the founder. And how can we offer more value? So Founders Tanzania is now operating as an NGO. It's operating as three things at once. As an NGO in terms of formation, it's operating as a backup in terms of operation, and is operating as an association in terms of community engagement. So the plans that follow is what was concluded from the internal team coming to sets of founders. It was Federal Pump that participated in poking holes into the plan and also now presented it to you. So one of the few things that we need to change from here, founders Tanzania hash was mute from one page to another. And going forward, one of the key things that we're going to have is that we need your support as founders to help take Founders Tanzania to the next level so it can offer more value for you. And that includes support for the program that we are going to share for. So number one support that was agreed in the main group was that going forward we're going to have a contribution of at least 10,000 a month for the founders that are going to need more value, but not alienating the founders that cannot at least provide at least 10,000 a month. For support, they are also going to have services from the Founders community, but more bespoke value is going to be offered to the founders that contribute for the services. And this money is directly going into the program that Founders is the offer. Now, in quarter one, we're going to start founder clinic, and we're going to have experts in five big areas. And number one is the investor readiness. We're going to have experts in the investor readiness, and founders will be able to book sessions with with the experts. At least a week, we're going to do 3 sessions. We're starting with 3 sessions a week, due to availability, and that will be for all founders available. So, hence the start. Sorry, disclaimer is that this contribution will be marked in effect starting quarter two. So in quarter one, everybody gets the services, and I'm going to explain more at the end of the slide. So founders will be able to book sessions for investor readiness. Founders are going to book slots for strategy, strategy and management. Founders are going to book slots for marketing. They're going to be marketing slots. There is a Laura who is going to offer services around law. There is an expert in tax and compliance. The founders are also going to book slots from an expert of tax and compliance. And we have now over around startups, HR, etc., etc. The founders are also going to book slots on that. So we call them the founders clinics. Those are going to start in quarter one. And we're going to have now, so for long we've had the Founders Tanzania main group and the Founders Tanzania forum. The Founders Tanzania main group has been looking for opportunity, but in 2028, it's going to change. It's not only to be opportunities only, but founders will be able to convert because that is for founders only. And the other group is the founders, system enablers, aspiring founders, advertisers, etc., etc. So in the founders main group, there's also going to be a founders on forum, so they'll be able to interact. And this is because we are now switching from only opportunity sharing into more integration between founders, but also we're devising a system, an internal system where we'll be capturing this opportunity and we'll be offering email roundup that are tailored to your specific sector. Because even though we had opportunities in the main group, they were general. Right now, they're going to be crafted within the group, and we're also going to do we call it a crawler, but we're going to swipe to crawl over the internet for these opportunities. Then we're going to tailor these opportunities to you as a founder based on your sector as an email roundup at the end of the week. So that starts in quarter 1, and that's why we can now have it started in the founders only group and without affecting the visibility of these opportunities. So one of the key things that Justin has pointed out is that there was low engagement of female founders. So we are going to likely start with programs that specifically target to amplify this female startup. So we can even attract more female startup founders. We can easily attract more startup founders. Because I believe the key thing to grow the economy itself is motivated. Now, even the key thing to grow the female founders in numbers can be also through motivation. Because mostly if somebody else can do this, and achieve this in a specific period of time, then I can even do the same. So we're going to start that with, let's say, every week we're going to have our W2W, our Founders Tanzania, put that on social media, promote it as you can, etc., etc. And also we used to have these articles on founders called Founders Pulse. Now in 2026, we are bringing it back where we're going to share the stories on the founding and highlight them, promote them on Medium, promote them on LinkedIn, and that's going to start. And also, as an organization, we have been in isolation. We're trying to save founders from isolation, and as an organization, we have been in isolation. So we're going to start local partnerships with other ecosystem players because we see ourselves as a pipeline that supports the ecosystem. So if we can have students who have ideas come into our community, ask how to start, we basically show them the ropes and give them support. We can now pull them out to Sahara Ventures, Innovate Ventures, etc., other ecosystem players who can now take this work further. So we see ourselves as a pipeline on Founders Tanzania now starting in 2026. We're going deeper into this ecosystem integration. And also, we have been doing more of reporting on the social media as a form of marketing. But in 2026, we're going to be full on. We're going to put our foot on the gas, and we're going to do now aggressive marketing so we can have more reach, we can have more impact to this ecosystem as we've seen so far. We should amplify that so we can even grow faster. It's like manure. All the time becomes the manure for the ecosystem. You would mean that now I'd like to go into quarter 2. I'll open the room for comments as we when I finish all this. Just take note and put it on the side. Then we're going to open the room for comments. When quarter 2, right now after demonstrating the value for the founders, the aspiring founders, it now starts now. We have, I call it premium, but we call it more of contribution to support the programs that are held in Tanzania. So we'll have now founders who really want, who have seen the value that we have shown, and founders that will access the community kind of features or community support. So specifically, we're going to double down our efforts on the founders that want more value, want more growth, and we're going to start founders training. And in 2026, it's not only going to focus around, or it's not going to build on top of from the founders that are successful from Tanzania, but we might start even regional founders. So founders from Kenya are teaching us on how to position ourselves on a global map, etc., etc. So we're going even beyond Tanzania in terms of this founder training. We're bringing back the podcast. So shout out to Lisa. She has been pushing this in 2024. We're bringing back the founders of FTz in quarter 2, where our aim is to put these founders out there because we talk about their journey and their vision for the future. But we're also looking forward to attract the aspiring founders and to inspire them to start. Because 2 weeks ago, I just met a developer in my friend's office, and he said, I never knew there's this founder of Camelot, forgot his name, but he said, I never knew him. I got to know about him. I never knew much people in AI space. I got to know about him from the podcast, and now we are working together. So that was something that, okay, this thing has an impact. And after discussing it and seeing the comments and the findings from the survey, we're bringing back the Safari. And so far, we've had the founders that is at the website. It's not good looking. It serves the purpose. So in the quarter 1, we're redesigning it and redefining it to fit our needs. And one of the key features that we're looking to implement from the data that we've got is called an application assistant. So an application assistant helps you as a founder to tailor your community, your com and the details of your startup and your impact based on the opportunity you apply for. So when it will have now the new platform will have a profile where you're feeling about your startup, the impact it had so far, etc., etc. Then let's say you're applying for level of PPP. Level of PPP want to see hard traction, your customers, your success, your team, etc., etc., your revenue. So the application assistant will help tailor your information to, to align with what Visual PPP wants. It doesn't lie on your behalf, but it tailors your communication. It's really more of we are trying to help the community, but we have achieved X, Y, Z. That's what I'm talking about. Then when you're trying to apply for, let's say, Mastercard Foundation, which is more of impact versus hard traction, then it can tailor your presentation, your comms based on Mastercard Foundation's needs and goals. So that's one of the features that we have thought that would be really beneficial for the founders that is going to have an impact in this planet. So there's features like that we're going to launch in the new platform. Then we're also going to offer WhatsApp Roundup. This is more expensive. So once we got enough contributions, we're going to do also WhatsApp Roundup. We have email, yes, but as Tanzanians, we hardly check email. So we're also going to do these roundups of opportunities based on your sector, on your direct to your WhatsApp every week. We're also starting international partnerships. So far, Founders Tanzania has been moving the way it is, but we've had the luck to be contacted with the investors from Korea, etc., etc., who want to work with Tanzanian startups. I think I've communicated in the group some of the opportunities, and now we're going to actively look for them for the Tanzanian startups. So we are also going to start that. We have local players who can support our cause. We're also going to look for that so we can now offer more services and impact at a large scale. We're also going to have uni ambassador programs, and this is to reach now because universities are the breeding place of startups and founders. So we're going to also double down our effort on the universities through the uni ambassador program. Allow me to go a bit faster so we can have some groups to discuss this. So in quarter 3, we're going to start uni partnerships. Now it's partnership with the universities directly, and we're going to talk to them on how Founders Tanzania can help these universities. And nowadays, universities have some interesting programs. Just 4 weeks ago, TIA had the Innovation Week. UDism has the Innovation Week. PBE has the Innovation Week, etc., etc. So we are going to start these partnerships, to them to explore this partnership. And also, we're going to be there when these programs happen in university. So Founders Tanzania will have their camps and their tents in the particular programs. We're going to start founder mentorship in quarter 3. Now we're going to double down our efforts on female founder, and we're going to start female founder initiative in quarter 3, partnerships with investors and in the venture fund And also, we are going to start investor founder link because sometimes the founders specifically want agri-tech that has revenue starting, let's say, $100,000. So we're going to do this matchmaking as an organization. So this is in quarter 3. And in quarter 4, finishing up, a lot of these innovative meets, FTz will start in quarter 4. We're going to do unique tours in quarter 4. We're going to start unique clubs in universities in quarter 4. We will be tracking impact every quarter. Now we're going to compile the impact the Founders Tanzania had in quarter 4. And so far, working as an organization, as an NGO, we're after now practically doing that, and we're going to revisit how we operate. That includes review through the constitution, etc. That's more internal. Apologies, it's in the external document, but that's more of Founders Tanzania in 2026, trying to address the problems around the low success rate for the founders, the low women engagement, and the problems around the founders themselves in terms of the founder growth. So I've been very fast. I've tried to do as fast as possible. I'm pretty sure Google is gonna cap this meeting at 1 hour, but let's see how it happened. But that was now from me, where we have talked about the history of Founders Tanzania of the 2035. We've presented the numbers from the impact survey report we've compiled in 2025, and that's our outlook for 2026. Things might change, might not go exactly as they are presented, but we might move a thing up and down. As I said before, we're operating in on one organization in 3 different phases. As an NGO structurally, we're operating as a startup, as lean as possible for maximum impact, and we're operating as an association for this because we are a community-led organization. So this is from us as Founders Tanzania. I would like to open the room for any comments, feedback, what do you think of this, etc., etc. And also, we are open to your ideas and critics on what we have shared with you. Haribuni sana. Just raise your hands, and I'll look at your name and name you out. All right, Paul Mboya, you are the first in, and I see you are the first to raise your hand. Karibu sana, Paul Mboya.
Thank you. Much appreciated for organizing and sharing with me. I got to learn of Founders Tanzania through LinkedIn.
Okay.
Get to jump the mix. The faculties you mentioned as challenges of Founders Tanzania, I think is that we face across the region. Myself, I'm Kenyan by citizenship, working now in my startup in Uganda, and I did as going through of the region. The viability in natural science is not only a Tanzanian challenge, it is a regional thing that we need to overcome. And I'm very grateful for you being able to put out this on social media and inviting us. Thank you for that. I like what you presented in the strategy for 2026, but it's something that appeal my friends here are also looking at, which I would encourage Founders Tanzania to do. I highlighted that university ambassador programs are good and they're the breeding space for founders. I would recommend that you also look at high school and technology, because that one is also a very important place. Remember, the consumers of the product that they're preparing, some of them drop out at primary school, some drop out at secondary school. So you may be looking at targeting in university, but you also need to educate consumers at secondary schools, because they are the same people who will also take the information of what we do at startups to the community. So we do not only grow ambassadors for Target, but we also need to have an approach of how do we increase knowledge of consumer base of the technology that you're developing. And that involves the CSR that you talked about, the high schools. Can we be able to connect our startups to the subject that they study at secondary schools, at high school, so that they become better consumers? Thank you.
Uh, thank you, Pombora. Thank you, Pombora. I don't know which nation should I put you in, Kenya or Uganda, but
Jumuiya, jumuiya, jumuiya.
Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki.
Exactly.
It's nice to teach them young. I think I would summarize it that way. Teach them to grow their own right mentality young, to consider themselves producers. And also, we are now, as consumers, as you said, we should keep all them early. Put that into our plans and share it with my team. Then we can see how we can strategically position it either this year or the coming year. But thank you so much. We've had really good relationship with community managers from Uganda and Tanzania. I know my good friend Donald from Uganda. I know my good friend from Kenya, Boniface. They had their own meeting last 2 weeks ago for Kenya. Uganda, they had an East Africa Founders Tour where I met them in Kenya. They moved with a bus from Uganda to Kenya. Then I met them in Kenya. Then they came to Tanzania. I welcomed them to Tanzania. They enjoyed Tanzania more, just to say. They loved the space, but the ecosystem collaboration that we've had, and in the future we're looking forward to having now founders Kenya, founders Uganda, founders Nigeria, founders etc. So we're trying to pack this model here and scale it, and then we can populate the model across the continent. So thank you so much for that advice, and that's the thing that you're looking for as founders for that. Anybody else with a comment, idea like Paul Boya, you're welcome. Just raise your hand and may can go give me a thumbs up to do an interesting presentation wherever this feels that have nothing to say. Kama haijaeleweka dini ya thumbs yeah, just to say thank you so much. And Tita, I love you on the positive versus Diana, Diana, Michael, Festo, Adriani, Editor Club, Menotti, and nice. Thank you for being with us. Pepa Mohammed, Impact, Tuta, Texto, Metastus, Lasta Ali, good luck. That's a good friend of mine. Nice to see you here. Thank you everybody for being with us. We're really open to feedback and comment. For those who haven't joined our community, you're welcome. Let me just paste the link here. You can join our community after this. Let me just take a look. But copy and address. Yeah, let me paste the link. After this call, you'll be able to join our community. Thank you, Dina Dabo. I can see your comments. And I'm looking for questions. Okay. Oh, okay. They are talking about Diana Oriambe. Diana is doing really good. She represented Tanzania very well in the African Business Hero competition. I see there was an interesting conversation happening in the chat, but karibuni sana, Samani. I see there is no comments, and I try to be as efficient as possible. So if there isn't any hand or comment, mimi ni washukuru sana sana sana. We have amazing people in the kitchen who are really trying to push this thing forward. We get to know about them as the year progresses. You get to see them in your inbox. Some of them you get to interact with them in one way or another. But we're really trying to contribute to the ecosystem as much as we can. And the main the main the main DNA of Founders Tanzania has been what can we do as founders to help ourselves? Because the famous thing is saying no one is coming to save you. So sawa tuna matatizo yote lakini how can you help ourselves? So if you have ideas, jamani, on how we can take this ecosystem forward, don't be afraid to shoot to the number I just put a link there. And welcome to join the Founders Tanzania community and help us grow. Thank you everybody. Kido Aaron, I see you, my good friend, Lina Dabor. Thank you so much. We are all looking forward to see how this year is going to unfold. Oh, so let me end up with the packaging that we have for this year. So founders say they are flexible for 10,000 per month. So for the founders that are flexible to pay that for a yearly subscription, in the first quarter, it's going to be 80,000. For a whole year, you save 40,000 and you get access to all the services that I've mentioned. And for the founders that will start paying starting the second quarter, it's going to be 100,000 for yearly subscription. And it's going to have a little bit of a bump for the founders that were with us going forward. So that's about the packages. So we'll communicate more in the Founders Tanzania group on how we can start this year on a on a high note. Okay, Christian, I'm sharing the link again. Let me try it. Sorry, it doesn't work. Let me test the link. I think that link directs you to the backup, the link that I've just shared, and to the community manager. Oh, okay, the site can bring it. Okay, let me try to share the link again. Sorry. Let me share the link again. And this is 1 minute that he has. Let's start playing the blue layer. Wow, I'm feeling it will be there. Oh, okay, let me get that. Okay, for those who did for the email, if this meeting is going to be ended, I'm just gonna pay through the email. The email him after this, but I can't find the place that I can sit. Okay, yeah, good. Let me share the link right now. I share the link with you right now. This is the Founders Tanzania forum. Emoji a link, copy link. Oh, cool. That's thing is on.
I was trying. I was trying to speak, and yeah, kugundua I was out. Oh, sorry for that link. I can't delete it, but let me copy the WhatsApp link. Copy link. I'm sharing it with you soon. Um, I'm sharing the group link soon. Copy. Okay, guys, karibuni sana Founders Tanzania. Samahani for the imperfections, but all is well. Thank you all for being here. All the best. Oh, okay. Thank you, Apple, for those effects. But everything is good. Cheers. Ah, damn, thank you, Lord.